guys, this is Chelsea Walsh with Girls Gone Wireless, and today I have the pleasure of having Jeff Ransdell on as our guest, our second guest. He's from Roker Fuel EXO and many other companies, and he's going to tell us all about his endeavors and business ventures as he's really been able to revitalize financial life, a breath of financial life into the Miami and Wynwood area specifically. So really excited to have him on, and he's going to take the floor in a moment.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I feel very privileged. I heard I was the #2 guy that came in on this, so that's kind of cool. I always like being at the beginning of things.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But I'm really excited. And congratulations on everything you got going on.
Thank you so much. Now, I mean, the obvious reasons for wanting to relocate down to South Florida, right? Because it's beautiful, it's got beautiful people, it's relaxing, it's vacation party mode. But can you tell me, exactly why it is that you made the jump from Merrill Lynch and being on Wall Street to come down and develop this whole project in Miami?
So I actually came down to South Florida from New York while I was at Merrill. So I've been here over 20 years now. So I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere. So when I left Merrill, to start venture capital, most people don't really think, is Maryland, is Miami as being a venture capital place.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of felt, kind of go the old saying, right? Go where the puck is headed, not where it's at.
Yep.
So, I really thought that because Miami is where it is, and it's so close to Latin America, it's truly an international city. I mean, where else in the United States, is English language the third most spoken language in the city, right? So it's, it's truly an international.
I think that's it.
I like to tell people that Miami is not even the United States. Right?
It's not. I always refer to it as South America, Central America.
Yeah, like the capital, right? It's just a very special place. The United States probably doesn't kick in until somewhere around Aventura. Mm-hmm. And, I think that people love Miami for that reason or hate Miami for that reason, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it was just, I knew that from a venture capital perspective, that, Latin America was definitely the next place to go. Mm-hmm. And it's so far away from Silicon Valley. And so if we built a firm here that became, known and trusted for doing a really good job, we could literally become like the stepping stone, if you will, or the bridge between Silicon Valley and Latin America. And so that's why I did it. And when I did it, everyone thought I'd lost my mind. But now, 3 years later, it's really kind of starting to become, a lot of people are moving here. I mean, Eric Schmidt spends a lot of time here. Travis Kalanick spends a lot of time here. Shervin Perchever, who's probably, one of the top 40 venture capitalists in the world, lives here now. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on in Miami.
I knew the first two gentlemen. The third, I have no idea. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
So have you ever heard of Hyperloop?
No.
You haven't?
No.
You got to check it out. It's a very, very cool company. So it's an Elon Musk idea. So you've heard of Elon Musk's Boring Company?
Oh yeah, I'm not under a rock, but yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Shervin was the CEO and founder with Elon of Hyperloop. So okay. it's the train that goes inside of a tube, and there's no emissions or anything. It's all done by magnetics, and it runs like it's 700 miles an hour. You can go from like Los Angeles to San Francisco in like 20 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty big company.
I didn't know that was a thing, so maybe I am under a rock. Anyway.
Well, that's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, educate me, please.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people have really honed in on Wynwood over the last 10 years. Is there a specific reason why you were so attracted to that area?
So I started going to Wynwood when Panther Coffee was the only thing there. That was in 2009. Mm-hmm. And I mean, literally, it was, it was just it was the cheapest place that they could get a building to do what they wanted to do. And they were roasting coffee. And the idea was to, produce it and get enough in as many, restaurants as they could into Miami. And then everything just kind of started coming around it. And so when I started the firm, it was like, it's a graffiti park.
Yeah.
It's totally, arts and and creative people. I don't know if you've ever been to like Williamsburg, Brooklyn, but I used to
I
live
have.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
and
been to quite a bit. I've taken myself on like 5 or 6 trips, and I'll go and I'll stay in Manhattan. Like I'll scrounge all my money together, hoard it, and I'll go and stay in Manhattan for like a week by myself. This is what I do.
yeah,
Tradition. So
okay.
I'm with you.
Okay, so you like Wynwood, and that you like Williamsburg, and so it felt a lot like Williamsburg to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I opened up the office there,
Amazing.
and I love it. You know, I mean, you
That
walk to
place
go
looks
get a
really
coffee,
cool.
or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Your
mean, it's
office
just
looks
amazing.
amazing from what I've seen with social media and your website and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks kind of
pretty cool.
like shipping containers and then a bunch of glass boxes. So
You know, it's a really good depiction of it. Yeah, if you come, you would probably say, "Oh, this is exactly what I thought it was." Yeah.
nice. Well, yeah, I've already invited myself, so I'm going.
Done,
Don't
done,
worry.
absolutely done.
So maybe tell me about how you got into this relationship with Usain Bolt and the Bolt scooters that are around town everywhere. What started that?
Well, so Bolt is another Shervin company. So it's
Mm-hmm.
another Shervin Perchever. So when Shervin left Silicon Valley and he came to Miami,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to produce something that would be a game changer for Miami, right? And
Right.
micromobility is a pretty big thing, and I think it's going to be a bigger thing as we move forward, especially with everything that's going on. I don't know about you, but I live in downtown Miami. My
Yeah.
office is in Wynwood. I don't really drive very much anymore. I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, I think it's a complete pain in the butt.
It
You
is.
have to find a place to park. You have to pay. I mean, I just don't see it. I think micromobility is going to be for sure a very big thing as we move forward. So he started it,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to call it Bolt. And so, it's bigger, it's faster than everything else on the street. So we
Yeah.
decided we
You
need to
use the
have
model.
we need to have you at Usain Bolt. So we reached out to Usain, and he became one of our partners.
Really cool. Wow. And he's
Yeah,
just receptive to it off the jump.
right off the jump, he wanted to be a part of it. He's very much about trying to leave a mark and leave things better than he found it. And so the whole idea of micro mobility and trying to help lower emissions and all those types of things was very much aligned with what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if you've seen any of the videos, but they're pretty cool.
no, they are. I've been on one.
Yeah,
And they're super fast.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like all this past year, I hadn't had a car because I was living in South Beach and I kind of just didn't see a point of it. I never could find
Exactly.
parking. It was really annoying. I was like
Yeah,
right by south of Fifth. I was right over there and it was just kind of like a big pain in the butt. I agree with you
yep,
100%.
yep,
And I found myself Ubering everywhere or renting the bikes or the scooters or like
yep,
literally hopping on my longboard and skating away.
yep.
So I was totally fine without having a car. It was my most stress-free year of my life. And it was
Yeah,
just nice to like have all that savings and not have to worry
yeah.
about the premiums and everything. But anyway, like I
We
guess
just did an amazing micro mobility commercial. You don't even know it, but yeah.
I would love to. Yeah, we can definitely revisit that.
Yeah,
I actually really love doing commercials. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do like little ad spots all the time. That's how like I've monetized my Instagram by creating all those brand relationships
yeah.
and reaching out to them. And I send them like a quick little teaser. I was like, this is what I can do for you. And then they hire me. So
That's very
like
cool.
bait and switch. It's kind of cool.
Super smart. Super
Yeah.
smart.
Thanks. I don't know if this is going to be possible for you, but if you could, maybe tell me your favorite Miami account or your most prized account in your portfolio. I know you manage 200 plus million at the moment with your company.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
There's an old saying, right? You got to love all your children. And
Yeah.
so, I love all my children, but we have such amazing portfolio companies in our portfolio. I mean, we have it was just given an award like 3 weeks ago. One of our robotics company is one of the top 5 robotics companies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have the greatest micromobility company with Bolt.
Right.
We have 3 or 4 of the leading fintech companies on the street right now. I mean, everybody and their neighbors trying to get access.
Mm-hmm.
We have a space play, so we have probably one of the coolest things I've ever invested in. It's called SAR Technology. Do you know what that is?
No?
So our technology is a group of chemists that came together about 10 years ago, and they said, look, if I know the chemical makeup of wood, of steel, of rebar, of, you name it, doesn't matter what it is, if they understand what the chemical makeup is, they can use computers to dissipate the image and look through it. So the United States government came to this company called Terran Orbital, which is the largest microsatellite company in the world. And they make microsatellites, which, you know anything about space, it's kind of all on the weight because the Earth's atmosphere pulls it in. So microsatellites are 240 kilograms, which means they can skate on the Earth's atmosphere. They're only 100 miles off of the surface of the planet.
So they can take this really thin buffer space in between.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And they can take super, less than 50-meter imaging. So like if I had your coordinates in your apartment right now, I could literally tell you how many boxes of cereal you have in your kitchen. I can tell you everything that's in your room.
Enough. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I know that he's always watching or whatever, but the surveillance capabilities with all the different AI that's out there and everything else, it's really freaky. I feel like we're all just in the literal set of Sims now.
and it's going to get more than it's going to get less. I mean, especially with COVID and everything right now. I mean, everybody wants to have more information. Everybody wants to have more surveillance. And I mean, with this kind of technology, you can literally, I mean, if a submarine left North Korea tomorrow morning, I could tell you how many people are on board. I could tell you how many missiles are on board. And again, I could tell you how many boxes of cereal are in the galley. I mean, it's really amazing technology.
That is nuts. I haven't. The name of that company was again? SAR?
Predasar.
Oh, Predasar. Okay.
Predasar. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Now, with everything that you've been able to culminate over the years, I guess I'm looking for a really wild card story that only you would know that you would like to share.
Wild card story when it comes to technology?
Whatever you want. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Well, I can't tell you everything about a lot of the things I know because I'm I had to be approved by the DOJ. So I mean, I have a lot of information that I would go to prison and so would you. So we don't want to do that.
And share. That we don't have to sign an NDA for.
Yeah. Well, this is more than an NDA. So, so there's a company called Soundtrack Your Brand.
Yeah.
Soundtrack Your Brand.
Like the Heat, right?
What's that?
Don't they work with the Heat?
Well, they work with a lot of people. So it used to be called Spotify for Business.
Okay.
So I'm sure you have a Spotify account.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the music industry is broken down into licensing. So like Spotify that you use to go to the gym, or if you're going to get on your board and go skating and you're listening to music, you're listening to what's called a B2C license. Okay. So, Spotify is massive right now. It controls basically all the music streaming in the world. But there's another side of it. What's that?
That's who I'm loyal to. I've loved Spotify from the beginning.
So this company used to be called Spotify for Business. So again, the other license is business to business. So right now, you and I are having a business conversation. If you had music playing in the background, you wouldn't be able to use your B2C Spotify. That would be illegal.
Yeah, because you can't include any copyrighted music.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So
I'm all about that.
It's an incredible industry. It's fascinating stuff. But so we bought Spotify for Business about a year and a half ago, and then we spun it outside of Spotify. So now it's Soundtrack.
Okay.
And we just signed a whole bunch of there's some really big stuff that's coming down the pipe as far as media. You're going to see a lot of stuff. Universal Music, Sony, Warner, and what we hope to do is make it as big as the B2C side, which is Spotify. So that's a super cool company and something that very few people know about. And we bought it on the cheap, and we're going to sell it for a lot of money.
Gotta flip that shit. Absolutely. I also want to mention that profanity is welcome if at any point you choose to use it. I like
very good.
Funny little sound effects over it, but whatever.
All good.
So,
all good.
And we might as well, go after things like that. I mean, we've got Sony right there by the airport, and there was an a business, sorry, what is it called? There's like a Latin America Grammy office somewhere off
Yeah.
Doral, out in Doral. I think it's like the City Place Doral offices.
Yeah.
Um, all these different resources are just right here. I
Right
mean,
here.
do you ever go and meet with those companies like face to face, or you're just like going around them, and how does that part work? I'm just curious.
Well, my background, I've got quite a bit of,
For your team, obviously it's not you.
yeah. Well, we're very involved in the music scene. I mean, we go all the way back to a company called Beatport. I don't know if you know that name, but it's like one of the very first music streaming companies that was ever built.
Mm.
And the guy who's the founder of Soundtrack was the founder of Beats,
Okay.
which was sold to Apple, which is your Apple Music today, for like
Yeah.
$3 billion. So we're very involved with all of those guys, and I've got a lot of friends in the music business.
Okay.
And we actually have a lot of investors that are, some pretty famous singers and whatnot, entertainers that are in the fund.
Good.
So
That's
yeah, we're pretty lined up in the music side.
So you've gotten really like diverse since leaving Wall Street. You've branched out into all your interests and passions, and clearly music seems to be one of the main.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, I left Wall Street simply because I thought that just everything was changing so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not saying that I'm right. This is just my humble opinion, but I felt like, the big Wall Street firms like I worked for just were not iterating and not pivoting fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about, how you consume today is completely different than how you consumed even 4 years ago,
Oh,
right?
100%.
100%. And the things that you do today are so much different than they were 4 years ago. But when you sit down with the average investor, like your parents or your parents' friends or whatever, I guarantee you, if I sat down with them, their portfolios would look exactly like they did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's because the people that they think that they're getting good advice from aren't really talking to them about, the creative economy and how the world is changing. And so, I was one of 6 people that ran that firm worldwide. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just having a really hard time looking in the mirror. It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm taking all this money, but what am I really affecting? So I just decided to leave and build this firm. So yeah.
That's incredible that you're able to have that aha moment, reflect, and just act on it right away. Awesome.
Well, I wouldn't say it happened right away, but it took a little bit of time to have the courage to do it. But yeah, I
Hey,
finally
well,
got it done.
you got
Yeah.
here. I like to spin this point around and see if you have any questions for me.
So where did you grow up?
Oh, okay. I was born in Plantation, Florida, and
Okay.
I was born at the Broward General Hospital out there. And we were here until I was about 9 years old, and we moved to Fort Pierce, Florida, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I don't even know where Fort Pierce, Florida is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they took me from Broward County. I loved it. I was super plugged with all my little friends. Summer camp, same place every year. And then we moved to Fort Pierce, and I was just like, okay, what is this? So basically it's like, I don't know, it's got to be about 140 miles north. It's on the East Coast as well. And the Treasure Coast is like little Tri-County area. So there's like Stort, Jensen Beach, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach. So it's like in
Got
that
it.
little area there. And, it is named, the appropriate way because there have been a lot of Spanish coins found off the coast and different treasure loots or whatever you want to call it.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's how it's got its name. And from there, I came back after I graduated from Flagler College in St. Augustine. So I've just been all over Florida, but never left it. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after college, I moved back for like a year trying to get my shit together, basically. And then my mom had relocated back to South Florida, so I just went ahead and followed her, and I don't regret it at all. It was like the best possible thing for me. There was no job market at home at all.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to be like working at a hospital, I guess would be your choice.
Yeah.
Or be a realtor. And I was like, everyone's a freaking realtor. I don't want to be a realtor.
Yeah.
So
But you're very entrepreneurial. So where does that come from?
I don't know. I just had this innate sense since I was like 5, 6. I was like, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to have these people working for me. I am not going to be working for anybody else. And
Good for
that is,
you.
that's just what's happened. Like I've tried a lot of different things and I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. Like I'll give things a couple years and I'll hop around. And I was like, well, this is stupid. I've obviously just been wasting my time. So I finally made the true decision to work for myself and by myself. I think it was 2018. So it's been like that ever since.
So do you find that?
I think I probably get it from my dad though, because I mean he had his own business, he owned his own construction company, so that could be it. And then my mom just always encouraged me, like you don't need no man type crap, and
Very smart.
but and go to school and do this and say yes to opportunities and try everything. And I was like, okay. So they just really created a really I don't know, awesome foundation for me and always encouraged me.
My parents were the exact same way, and it made a big difference.
Yeah.
So do you find that that is normal or abnormal in like your peer group? Are they like you or?
No, everyone wants to work for somebody else.
Okay.
I don't understand that. I can't really get that concept when you could just be translating all these great ideas that you've had, that you've been holding on to your whole life, or things that you've thought about again and again and again. If you could just do a brain dump, get it out there and start making some plans, a lot of things can come together with time and dedication. And I don't get it. A lot of my friends do choose to work for other people, or they think that, you know, because maybe that's what their family did or their parents did, that's the right move and the safe bet, and there's, you know, security in that. And I'm like, no, there's not. You could be fired or replaced at any waking moment. You are replaceable. You have to know that. And there are ways that you can try to ensure, you know, and establish your, where am I trying to go with this? Like that you're invaluable, but I don't think that's the right word. But, you know, you try to prove yourself again and again to some people or some companies, and they just don't always see it. And you can't force people to do that. So I don't know why they take that route, but maybe it's just a self-confidence thing or a confusing inner compass. But once you clear that all away and start really listening to yourself and taking time to add in reflection and, you know, self-help and education and everything else, I think it just will naturally, like the world will show you, the universe will show you, I believe, different opportunities for you to grab out and take it and take those jumps and leaps and truly grow.
I agree. I think it boils down to really probably how you were brought up, right? So you were saying your parents were very supportive of everything that you kind of came up with, and that kind of fosters all that. But some people, like, you know, no, this is, you know, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an attorney, and all this other stuff is just, you know, crazy.
If you have that like innate like trade calling and you know, okay, cool, go. I'm glad you know from that like young moment in your life that you're dedicated to this and nothing will get in your way. There's just type A personality and not. So
right. That's how you're wired. That's exactly right. Cool. That's cool. Well, good for you.
Thank you so much, and thanks for asking. So this is Chelsea Walsh with Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild. Dude, that's the third time I did that today, and I rehearsed this. Girls Gone Wireless.